Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Seems to be a little bit of a theme this week, but I just wanted to touch on Joseph Parker again. So, a story that I saw on Radio New Zealand's website, radionz.co.nz, about Parker flying out for training camp. So, a good little article from Barry Guy and the crew at Radio New Zealand. So Parker, he has flown out. Presumably, it doesn't actually say in here, but normally he flies out to Vegas with his to meet his trainer Kevin Barry, go through camp and such. Um, I guess it's that next step, building towards that September fight with Hughie Fury. So a couple of comments in here that I just wanted to touch on that I thought were quite interesting. Obviously, in previous videos, I've touched on that very important fight for Parker coming up, and the sort of direction of his career really does hinge on a win. Not just a win, but a really good win. So let's go to Joseph Parker's statement here. I know there's a lot of doubters out there, but I'll use my fists and let my fists do the talking. I think I have to go there and knock him out to make a statement. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I really like to hear Joseph Parker talking like that. I think in the last couple of fights, he's in the build-up, he hasn't really sort of said things like this. He's obviously said he's going to train hard and try to do well and win, but obviously he hasn't been talking about knocking people out. And obviously, actually, the last what 3 or 4 fights to attack him, it was a 12-round decision. Ruiz 12-round decision. Kajanu 12-round decision. So we know he can go the distance now, but it would be good to see him actually put someone to sleep and get him out of there. So I'm hoping that will be Hughie Fury at the end of the month, at the end of September, I should say. Parker's promoter, David Higgins, he says the 25-year-old is more than ready to fight away from home. Higgins said they would have preferred the fight to take place in New Zealand as originally planned, but has plenty of confidence in Parker to defeat Fury in the UK. I would have preferred the fight to happen as planned. We have to fight him. We have made a good deal. We're going to fight him. I back Joseph to win. Joe's very mentally tough. That's David Higgins there, quoted by Radio New Zealand. So check the story out, radionz.co.nz in the sports section. Good little article there. Yeah, interesting. So Parker now presumably on his way to Vegas for another camp with Kevin Barry. Be interesting to hear some of the actual updates from that camp, see how it's going. What are some of the things that are actually working on? I think Joe's defense has been a little bit leaky in the last couple of fights. See if they can tighten that up. And you would have seen that over the last week or so. I've done this is my third Joseph Parker video. Obviously, coming from New Zealand, I'm a Joseph Parker fan. He actually is one of my favourite fighters. So I was very surprised to see. I mean, I guess this just comes with the territory. Someone calling me a hater and a number of other names in a comment that didn't actually make it to the page because it was tagged or flagged for review. But yeah, not very nice in terms of what was written there. A few choice words for me. But in terms of Joseph Parker, yeah, I'm a fan of his, but I'm not going to do all sorts of fanboy shit on here. If I want to critically review his career, what's happening, where he's going, and what the ramifications of certain things are, well, I'm going to do that. And if you don't like that, then well, maybe this isn't the sort of channel for you. But I would say I'm very far from a Joseph Parker hater. I'm a big fan, and I want to see him do well. So obviously. I've invested a lot of time watching him and watching him box and come up with his career. I mean, as we all do with a lot of fighters. So, yeah, Joseph Parker on his way to presumably Las Vegas for his training camp, and best of luck to Joe in the next, was it 6 or 8 weeks before the fight? That's it from me. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm out.